Oh. And sometimes there ain't even funny jokes. Maybe I should have stopped. Welcome back to the show, and today I'm going to do something a little different today. Something new, and if you're wondering, what are you doing? Today's Saturday. You're not supposed to be recording. You said you wouldn't. Well, guess what? I'm bored. I'm really bored. I'm extremely So yeah. Oh my gosh, there's so many people. I didn't think that many people did this kind of video. Let me be honest with you. I didn't think there were that many people that did this. So many. Rockin'.
So in my old job, we had this annoying policy where as long as you kept your receipt, there was no time limit on how long you can return or exchange a purchased
I could
item.
tell that would suck.
I know that just from hearing that, you can imagine all of the exploits that go along with it. And it's not like it's even a difficult requirement, right? Keep a piece of paper, stay eligible for returns and exchanges. Simple. Hi, I'd like to return this pair of pants. It's too big on my husband.
But then they don't have
no
the
problem.
receipt, do they?
Could I please see your receipt? Because that's literally the only article of proof that they can provide to show me that they spent money to purchase this item at our franchise. Oh, I don't have it.
Yep.
I'm sorry, but I can't issue a return or exchange without it. But you guys told me there was no time limit. We also told you, in your selective hearing, that you should hang on to your receipt if you ever want to return your items. Ugh, can I talk to your manager? Hi. I want to exchange a shirt I bought a few weeks ago. It ripped. Oh, that's too bad. But, of course, I see you have your receipt there. Thank you. And, where's the shirt? Oh, it's at home. You're gonna have to bring the shirt in
you bring
for
the
me
shirt?
to exchange it. Well, I figured you guys were just gonna throw it out, so I didn't bother. Well, I also see that you left your common sense at home. I'm sorry, sir.
Why don't you just bring the shirt?
Can I talk to your manager? And like I said, it's a somewhat flawed system that uprooted several exploits. One of which resulted in us limiting the unlimited return policy of our construction boots, which were then reduced to a 100-day limit. We even had signs everywhere to keep our literate customers aware of the changes.
Okay, that seems fair.
Hi, I want to return these boots for my son. They already wore off after like 2 weeks. Terrible quality. Oh,
Okay.
I'm sorry to hear that. No problem. Could I see your receipt? Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am, but it says here you bought the boots 5 months ago? Why'd you wait so long? I just didn't have any time, okay? Well, this exceeds our 100-day limit for returns and exchanges. What? I thought you had a no time limit return policy. We do, but some issues occurred and we had to change that for our construction boots. We're sure to notify all of our customers who buy them now. Your son should have known. When did this change happen? About a year ago. That's ridiculous. How was I supposed to know? It's even written here on the receipt that you have 100 days. No. Unacceptable. Where does it even say in your store? I don't see it anywhere. I came all the way here and you can't do anything?
Oh boy.
Can I speak with your manager? Oh, yes, of course. I was totally hired as a decoy that deceives customers and misrepresents how our store truly functions, and only the manager can cater to your incompetence and provide you with undeserving consolation, because that sure is an efficient system that's allowed this franchise to survive for nearly 40 years. Please wait here while I get my manager to repeat the same information I bestowed upon you.
Yeah, that's
because how
what
can
most
my
should
word alone
happen.
be valid, me being a mere employee who had to apply for this job and prove my adequate ability to handle our consumers? Yeah. Hey guys, do you spend all...
Okay, real quick. This one was actually recommended to me. So I heard these things are really scary. So hopefully I get like a moment or like a oh snap, which I probably will because I say oh snap all the time, even something scary that I've been, especially if you see my other videos. Let's go in there. Let's just go.
27 years old. I live alone in a rural town in Virginia, about 2 blocks away from my parents. My parents are both in their 60s, and my mom has become a very worrisome woman in her old age.
Okay.
Sometimes she walks over uninvited and lets herself in, since I had regrettably given her a key, which can get a bit annoying. Like if I would be out really late on weekends at a bar or with women, I would sometimes come home to my mom sitting in the living room waiting, worried sick. I know you may just think, oh my god, that's crazy, why not just put your foot down and tell her to stop? Well, because you don't know my mom. It's very hard to describe her, but she's the kind of worrisome, innocent little lady that you just can't bring yourself to go against. And I hate to mention, she also has mild dementia. Anyway, this was Saturday night. I think it was around 2 in the morning. I was at a nearby club with a group of college friends.
The club!
Really the only
This is the
place
club
to hang
I
out
keep
in this
talking
boring
about.
town, and I was getting ready to head home. I said goodbye to all my friends and walked
Yeah,
the 3 blocks it took to get back to my house.
Okay.
I walked up my front stoop in my drunken haze and dug my hand in my pocket for my keys. When I grabbed the doorknob, I realized it was unlocked. My mom was here again.
Okay.
I quietly opened and shut the front door, locking it behind me. I put my keys on the kitchen counter and found a note written in my mom's handwriting saying, "You forgot this at our house, next to the box of half-eaten cake my parents didn't want." I didn't see my mom anywhere, so I assumed she must have gone upstairs to sleep in the guest bed until I got back, which is something she would commonly do as well. Then I heard footsteps upstairs, confirming it, and that's when I sighed once again. 27 years old, almost 3 in the morning, and she still has to wait up and treat me like a child. I ran upstairs to check the guest bed, empty, along with all the bathrooms.
Okay.
I was afraid Mom was having one of her episodes due to her condition, so I ran to the phone to call my dad. After 4 rings, my dad picked up in a groggy voice, asking what the hell is the matter. After I told him that I heard Mom wandering around upstairs in my house, there was a short pause, and then he said, "That's not possible, she's sleeping right next to me." My mouth fell open as I turned my head to face the dark upstairs. And just barely, by the light provided by the kitchen, I could see a head peering around from the corner at the top of the stairs, looking down at me. I screamed into the phone as I ran out the front door and down the street to my parents' house, explaining to my father on the way. About halfway there, my dad told me, "I'm going to call the cops," and hung up. I made it to my parents' house, where my mom was already waiting at the door, worried sick. My mom explained that she did come over to clean my kitchen a little bit and to bring over the cake they didn't want. 2 police cars pulled up in front of my parents' house, where they escorted me and my dad down the street to my house. 1 officer stayed outside with us, while 2 others went inside to investigate. It felt like 15 minutes before they came back outside and said it was clear.
I should watch
They
more of
checked the
these.
crawl
It's
space,
pretty
the
good.
attic, everything. There was really nothing for me to report, other than the door was left unlocked and I saw the outline of a head upstairs before I ran for it. Still, I didn't feel safe sleeping in there that night, so I went back to my parents' house.
Wouldn't either.
Me and my dad are certain that my mom simply forgot to lock the door when she left, as her memory has been getting worse over the past few months.
That would suck.
My dad has been stopping her from coming over alone from now on, which makes me both sad but also relieved. Some nights I still get paranoid that whoever was in my house that night never left, and is still hiding in here somewhere.
Okay, I thought it was good to jump scare for a second, because I've seen these kind of videos before. Like, not this, or like the other ones I would do jump scares. Like, guys, let's watch another one. Oh, yeah.
And a man. And a man. Watch you now. Why you turn something into nothing? Look, it's raining now. You better believe it, sir. I ain't bluffing. Gonna creep you now.
To be honest with you, I have no idea what the SS stands for. I can imagine what SS stands for, but I'm just gonna assume they're not gonna talk about that. Did they just do the dab? First of all, second of all, I'm pretty sure they don't mean what I think they mean by SS, unless that's like a ship, which I don't think that's what they mean. And I'm pretty sure they don't mean the other thing that I'm thinking of, unless that stands for Super Saiyan. I don't know. Is how I spell Super Saiyan with is there an S in Saiyan? Saiyan? It sounds like an S. Well, like cartoon. Well. Okay, well that changed very quickly. Well. Are you okay? My arch nemesis? My arch nemesis doing the dab, oh my! That's video for today.
So one thing I really hated about working in retail was customers coming in at like the last 5 to 10 minutes before we closed the store.
I can imagine.
I know what you're thinking. If your store says you're open until 9 p.m., then you're open until 9 p.m. Now let me reply to that by saying, if we close at 9 p.m., then please get the hell out by 9 p.m. And for those of you who do come in at 8:55 and buy like shoelaces and are out the door at 8:57, kudos to you. You respected our workplace and our hours of operation. And then you have those other people who come in 5 minutes till closing, family of like 7 kids. Hi, just letting you know that we'll be closing in about 5 minutes.
Yeah, I'm just checking something out real quick.
Oh, then would you like some help so you don't waste everyone's time? Because obviously I would stay an extra 30 minutes here to wait for you to choose a pair of underwear that you would probably end up trying to return next week, rather than go home and finish my final undergrad project, where we have one member as a handicap.
No thanks, I'll have a look myself.
But why though? When you're looking for something and someone of a higher knowledge offers you the answer of where it would be, why would you prefer to waste time looking for it, especially when you're posing an inconvenience to others?
It's not about the destination, it's about the journey.
Sir, may I interest you in a new product of ours? It's a map to the exit. And then you have the third type of people who actually show up after you've closed. The door's locked, tills are closed, we're already counting the money, there are visibly no customers in the store, but they think, oh, the lights are on, I still have time to shop.
Please, I just need to buy a gift for my mother-in-law's birthday. It shouldn't take any longer than 10 minutes, I promise. Look, I see a shirt you might like.
We
Please,
have to go home.
come on.
We don't live here and sleep overnight. Sometimes we would get a head start on cleaning so that when it came time to actually close, there was little left to do before we could go home. But when you have customers come in and bulldoze the tables and shelves and leave like a mountain of clothes in the fitting room at the last minute only to decide they didn't want to buy anything, it's like when you
I've
just
seen
finish
that
building a house of
before.
cards
Ben
and someone
was like
suddenly comes up to
closing
you, sneezes
closing
your cards
things,
into the
and there's like
shadow
a
realm,
whole
and
bunch
stabs
of
you in
like
the kidney
clothes
with
just
a butter
randomly
knife and
there.
whispers, "The customer is always right," into your ear as you fall onto your knees and agonize over why you're still working here for minimum wage. Hey, so a little treat for you. When I used to work in retail, one thing I disliked was dealing with customers who were really persistent in milking any bargain they could get. Some customers would literally walk in and I'd be like, "Hi, welcome to Mark," and they'd cut me off.
Now, where's your clearance section?
Over there.
Thanks.
And then they'd walk there and I'd kind of trail behind to see if they needed any further help. After a few minutes, I'd ask, "Are you finding everything okay?" And they'd reply,
Oh, yes, but, for this shirt, what's your lowest price?
"I don't know what that question means, or at least I choose not to." Do they think the price tags we put on our items are just decoys? This isn't like the secret menu at Starbucks. It's not like you've earned our begrudging respect for discovering our secret. "Ah, you are a worthy opponent. I will reward you with a discount." What you see there, believe it or not, is the actual price. And not only that, but he asked about this on a clearance item. "Sir, that shirt has been in our store for 3 years now, and we've been knocking down its price consistently over those years.
$5?
It is now $5. That's the
Really?
lowest they can get. And guess what? They'll persist."
But it says up to 80% off.
Yes, from the original price. That shirt used to be $25. It is now $5, just like your IQ.
I know, but what's the lowest you can go?
Sir, I do not have that kind of power. I am a lowly customer service employee, simply following the guidelines set by our corporate superiors. I am not on commission, and as much as I want to help my store gain sales, it does not benefit me at all by knocking down the price of a shirt that shares the same value as a Big Mac combo. I'm getting paid minimum wage whether you buy this or not. If this were a flea market, or if I owned the store and had the freedom to change the prices at will, then maybe I would knock it down a few dimes. Because I understand that maintaining a customer relationship is important for future sales. But as of right now, the store is actually losing money because I'm trying to help you instead of those customers over there who genuinely want to buy something.
Okay, I'll come back tomorrow.
Hey, wasn't that guy here yesterday?
Yep.
Well. Alright, we're at the last part of the episode. The last thing we're gonna react to. So let's get into it.
Science fair. I was talking to a friend saying, oh, I know, I can do a video about the science fair and, talk about how much it sucks. And she said,
Science fair
at
does
my school,
suck.
we didn't do the science fair. What? That got me wondering, did other people not do the science fair? So I did my own science experiment on Twitter. I ran a poll and asked you guys if you even did the science fair and whether or not you enjoyed doing it. And 58% of you said you didn't have to do the science fair. Like, that was way more than I expected. That's the majority. I've renamed this group of people the lucky ones. And when I asked if you enjoyed doing it, 21% of you said you did enjoy it, and 21% of you said you didn't. I know Twitter polls aren't the most accurate sources of data, but I think it's safe to say that this is a pretty split issue. Now, I'm in the 21% of people who didn't enjoy the science fair. And don't get me wrong, I love science. Well, okay, that might not be true. I really hated biology and chemistry. That was just a mess. But physics was okay. Maybe I don't like science. I just like space and watching these. Bill and Neil, they're my buddies. Except Neil did hurt my feelings one time. We'll get back to that later. All right, so let me briefly go over what the science fair is for you lucky ones who didn't have to deal with that. Apparently, it's a very American thing.
America.
Right, guys? Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, totally.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Basically, we started doing them, I want to say around 4th grade, and we would do this every year up until the 10th grade. The whole class would spend all day researching a topic that interests them, and then we would have to come up with a question that we could run an experiment on. An example of these questions are, does the temperature of a battery affect how long it will last? What color light produces the most heat? How does the shape of a rocket's fins affect its travel? All of which are projects I did. Basically, this was supposed to teach you about the scientific method, but what it really did was teach us how to procrastinate and make up data. And on paper, you might think, oh, that sounds like fun. I wish my school did the science fair. No! Here are some flaws with the science fair. First, you got the option to work with a partner. And of course you want to work with a partner so you can split up the work and not do as much. Now, since I didn't have any friends, I would partner up with someone that no one else wanted to partner up with. But they wouldn't do any of the work. I only did the science fair with a partner once. From 5th grade on, I did my science fair projects alone. The second problem is that we had to come up with a question all on our own. And you gotta understand, we were just kids. We don't think as cognitively as scientists do, okay? Just a couple years ago, we still believed in Santa Claus. Except for me, my family didn't do Santa Claus. And now you want us to wonder if the ratio of a cylinder will affect its buoyancy? Like, come on. And also, we don't have access to any resources. You know, the science fair is a lot like an episode of Mythbusters. But what sets apart the Mythbusters from your average 4th grader is that they're really smart engineers who have access to explosives, while we can't even drive to Walmart ourselves. We have to ask our parents to take us. One year, I wanted to do an experiment on a certain type of soil, so I did research, I wrote everything all up, but then when I went to Home Depot to buy the soil, they didn't even have it! So I had to pick a new topic and start all over again. Now do you see why I think the science fair sucks? So okay, I think it would have been better in elementary school if we were assigned a question. I know the whole point of these things is about discovery, but we're all stupid, okay? I guess if you're anything like me and you chose a crappy question, you'll have a bad science fair. My very first science fair, after all day researching possible questions, me and my partner came up with a question: what time of the day is the hottest? Now, I already know the answer to this question, and in 4th grade, I'm sure I already knew the answer to this question too. It's noon. Like, I don't need to run an experiment on that. In fact, I can just go to Google and seriously just type weather, and boom, there's my data right there. No need for an experiment. But the science fair isn't just finding the answer to your question. No. First, after you research the topic, you have to write a hypothesis. A hypothesis is basically you guessing what you think the result of the experiment will be, but you don't write it down as I think this will happen. No, you write it like you know what's going to happen. A formula science, for a perfect hypothesis is if blank, then blank because blank. Let's use my battery experiment. I said, does the temperature of a battery affect how long it will last? So after doing research about how batteries work, the hypothesis for this experiment would be, if two AA batteries are used at different temperatures, then the battery in the hot temperature will not last as long because the battery's fluid will evaporate, which damages the internal structure of the battery. Oh, and spoiler alert, no, it doesn't. I put two batteries outside, 2 in the freezer, I let them sit, and then I plugged them into my Game Boy Advance, and they lasted the exact same amount of time. I learned nothing. So you also have to write up the materials you use for the experiment, then you have to write up the steps to do the experiment, the procedures, and you also have to write an introduction, basically just bullcrapping what you're going to do. Then you do the experiment, aka the fun part. Make sure you write down your results because you have to make a graph. You have to. How do you make a graph to show that batteries at different temperatures lasted the same amount of time? They did. You think you're done, right? But no, you gotta write up the results as if your graph didn't already perfectly depict that, and a conclusion. The conclusion is like the most insulting part of the science fair. You basically go through this checklist of questions that you answer. Was your hypothesis correct? No, my hypothesis was not correct. What mistakes could you have made in your experiment? I don't know. Maybe I took the batteries out of the cold and hot and put them in a room temperature Game Boy, and in a couple of minutes they both went to a room temperature. I don't know. How can others use this information you found? What do you mean? All the batteries lasted the same. I don't think anyone is going to put their batteries in their freezer to have literally no effect. All right, and then you take everything you wrote, print it out, and then slap it onto a poster board. And everyone, and I mean everyone, would use construction paper as a border around the text to give the poster board a good aesthetic. I think the second most fun part of the science fair was choosing what word art font you would use for your title. Oh, and by the way, the teachers told us to have a creative title to catch people's attention. Like, that was part of the assignment. We got graded on the title. Basically, they were telling us to create puns for a grade. If you're doing a project that's measuring plant growth, Ready, Set, Grow, that was a very popular choice. And then everyone took their poster boards and presented it in front of the whole class. I would hate that. Those were the 3 most boring days of science ever, except for the day you presented. That was the most stressful day. And then after all of that, everyone in the school put their poster board out in the cafeteria, and then it was fun to walk around and see how other people decorated their poster board. And you could always tell whose mom helped them. So overall, I didn't have a good time. Those 21% of people who did enjoy it, I'm glad you liked it. But me and the other 21% of people think you're huge nerds. And when I asked that Twitter question, I had some people messaging me saying, yeah, I got 3rd place and all I had was a cup of dirt, ha 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 ha. And that made me wonder, wait, it was a competition? So I think the key to a good science fair is to come up with a good question and also do a topic that you actually enjoy. One science fair, I did an experiment on rockets, and I had a blast. That would have been a good title. But for another year, I did What Color Light is the Hottest? I just shined a lamp at a thermometer and switched out the bulbs. And I'll let Neil say what he thinks about that whole project.
Okay, red light is warmer than blue light. Interesting discovery, but not exactly revolutionary.
Thanks, Neil. Yeah, just completely discredit all my research. I'm fine. So, moral of the story, if you need an idea for a science fair project, do it on rockets. You don't even need a question. Just launch model rockets.
Yes.
Hey guys,
that's
do you think
kind
tea
of
is gross?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
All?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I did
absolutely.
not mean to pause that. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Comment, like, share this with your friends and family, and don't you dare forget to subscribe so that you can be notified whenever I make a new video, which is gonna be really cool if you were to watch all my videos and then give me your support in the comment section about what you think, and then drop a like about my video, and don't forget to share this with your friends and your family so that other people can be entertained by my awesome humor, and then also maybe they would really like it. So see you guys next video. Bye.